Offset officially facing life in prison after this.
What's happening? It's your boy Offset. I'm going undercover on the net. Yes, sir. Come check me out.
With the Migos in the peak of their career and Offset being married to Cardi B, the sky was the limit for the rapper. However, after recent events, there are reports that Offset could potentially face 12 years in prison. So, what exactly happened? Today at Lime Report, we're going to break down all the details about the Offset's run-in with the law. So, make sure to stay until the end. You won't want to miss a thing. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, and comment keyword Migos to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Now, here's everything you need to know about the Atlanta rapper's case. Number 1. Prior charges. The issues surrounding Offset's case are not from a recent occurrence, but actually one that took place over a year ago. Back in Atlanta, following the birth of his daughter, Culture, Offset was pulled over. Initially, his crime was only for having illegally tinted windows. However, upon his traffic stop, the officer requested to search the vehicle. Upon their inspection, they found an illegal substance, along with a firearm. Due to their discovery, Offset was taken to jail. There, he was charged with a pair of felonies, including illegal possession of a firearm and being in possession of a firearm while committing a separate crime. Following his sentencing, Offset pleaded not guilty and is awaiting trial. Now, at the moment, there is a spectrum of different sentences the Migos rapper is facing, depending on his history with the law. If his case does go to trial and he is found guilty of having an illegal possession along with an illegal substance, then the case may take a turn for the worse. The outcome of his sentence also relies on his past charges, completing his time served for a completely separate crime. Back in 2013, Offset was placed on probation after being charged with theft and burglary. Offset quickly broke his probation and went to jail. Following that, his bond was denied and he was given 8 months in prison. Then, moving on 2 years later into 2015, all three of the Migos were charged with a slew of individual crimes. Offset was charged with multiple possessions of narcotics, an illegal possession of a firearm, and the possession of a firearm while committing a separate crime. The parole he was serving for the most recent crime was the one he had just broken following his arrest last year. Though his lawyer believes the judge who is examining the case still has the opportunity to dismiss any jail time and give Offset a larger fine, that will most likely not be the outcome. While this may have been a viable solution in the past, that may not be the case this time. With the sentence looking larger than ever, it seems likely the Migos rapper won't be able to reduce an entire 12-year sentence. After already having served 8 months before, it seems even the Atlanta rappers aren't susceptible to prison. And that might prove to be the case yet again. With his court date coming up in just a few weeks, it won't be long before we find out the fate of the Migos member. What do you think will happen? How much time do you think Offset will get, if any? Make sure to stay until the end to hear our theories, and leave a comment in the section below to leave yours. Number 2. Trouble in Paradise. In the midst of their relationship, Offset and Cardi B ran into some issues which caused a rift between the couple. Already being off and on with each other was one problem, but their troubles were going to get a lot worse come summer of 2018. On August 29th, Cardi B got involved in an argument with a waitress which ultimately turned into a bar fight. Things got so bad that it was reported multiple chairs and bottles were thrown throughout the nightclub. To make matters worse, when the police arrived, Cardi B and her entourage were nowhere to be found, most likely trying to avoid charges, which doesn't really help with her not guilty case. Initially, she believed that to be the end of her troubles. However, when you're that famous, you don't need to be at the scene of the crime to get recognized. Almost all the reports stated Cardi B was at the scene during the time of the assault. However, once confirmed, it seemed nothing was going to be done. That was until a couple months later when Cardi B was summoned to the police station for questioning. Following the meeting, she was sentenced with a felony assault and a misdemeanor reckless endangerment charge. This led to her hearing on April 19th, to which she was offered a plea deal that consisted of no jail time. Unfortunately, Cardi B very unwisely denied the plea for one reason or another, perhaps truly believing she can beat the case, or maybe she doesn't want the record on her file. Either way, whatever her reasoning may be, due to that decision, she is now risking jail time. Now her next court appearance is May 31st. Following this, her trial will continue on, leaving her fate in the hands of a jury, and if sentenced guilty, Cardi B can be looking at up to 1 year in jail. Considering this wouldn't be the first time a rapper was facing charges during the height of their success, it would appear Cardi is no safer than anyone else. Though time will tell, Cardi may learn to find that not taking the deal may have been a mistake, one that could cost her an entire year of her life. during the most pivotal point of her career. With this now on the line, it really begs the question why Cardi would risk it at all by not taking the plea. Why do you think she decided not to take it? Do you believe Cardi B is actually innocent of this crime? Make sure to stay until the end to hear why, and leave a comment in the section below to tell us what you think her reasons were. Number 3, worst case scenario. Though this sentence may pale in comparison to that of her husband's, who is potentially looking at a dozen years in prison, the issue becomes much more serious when you remember they have a child at home. Should Cardi B and Offset both face their sentences at the same time, then their daughter Culture will be without her parents and left to the family to be taken care of. Though she may be too young to remember it, there's no doubt Offset and Cardi B won't be happy with time away from their newborn. Besides losing time with their kid, there's another big thing both of them would be sacrificing: their careers. Having just won the Grammy for Best Rap Album for Invasion of Privacy, Cardi B is at the peak of her success. Also, making the most money for shows and features, now would be the least ideal time to step away from the game. Should she spend the maximum year in jail, it probably wouldn't end her career. However, it definitely won't help it either. With all the new up-and-coming artists coming out, there's no doubt Cardi B may be overwhelmed with competition and get overshadowed. Seeing how the rap game is already oversaturated with artists, it won't be long before Cardi B's 15 minutes are up. There is also the likely outcome that she may release tracks and even an album from prison. Following in the steps of rappers before her, such as Tupac and 50 Cent. It wouldn't be the first time a rapper remained consistent behind bars to stay relevant. With Cardi B's fan base, there's no doubt she will have a loyal following upon her release. But how much of that following she loses in the meantime is up to her. Now, while her situation seems to be difficult, you can only imagine how worse Offset's must be. If a year in jail is potentially threatening to a Grammy-winning rapper's career, imagine what over a decade will do. The Migos rapper is also in the midst of his peak, with his career at an all-time high, following the release of multiple tracks that have reached #1 on the billboards, along with their album Culture, which debuted at #1 on the Top 200 chart. Now would be the most misfortunate time to step away, and not only for a while, but potentially for good. Though Offset also has the opportunity to release music from jail, should that be the outcome, how long will he be able to do that for? 1 to 2 years may be doable, but after nearly a decade without a public appearance, it'll be difficult. Especially considering that he's part of a band, being a member of the Atlanta-based rap group Migos, with Quavo and Takeoff also being in the peak of their careers. There's no doubt they won't slow down with their music making. However, should Offset's sentence get in the way, we could see a potential end to the Migos group, perhaps converting it into a duo consisting of Quavo and Takeoff only. But after seeing how most musical groups end up, there's a more likely chance the two artists will remain solo acts. Hopefully that won't be the case, as most solo acts who come from bands usually never find their footing on their own. With the Migos' entire future on the line, let's hope Offset can manage to obtain a plea deal that won't consist of too much time, if any. Number 4. What's next? As we enter the month of May, we are now only weeks away from both Offset and Cardi B's hearings. Unless they end up being delayed later throughout the year, we can expect to see both of them in court this month, both facing separate charges. If the hearing should lead to trials for either or both of them, then we can expect to have an eventful year. Most likely, it would take months and potentially even years for their cases to go to trial, especially with their status. However, considering they've both had previous run-ins with the law, along with the fact that they've both already served time in the past, it doesn't seem likely the rap couple will be able to avoid getting away scot-free. Though Cardi's sentence may be significantly lighter, her case resulted in someone's injury, not to mention the property damage they caused and her decision to initially leave the scene of a crime. As for Offset, his odds of ending up in prison are much more likely. Not only does he have prior charges, but he was in the midst of completing his parole for a charge he had after already breaking his parole. At this point, it seems Offset may be on a 3-strike basis. With all this in mind, it appears the Migos rapper might have a less favorable sentence in comparison to his wife. With Offset and Cardi B's court dates around the corner, it's only a matter of time until we find out their fates. As both of them are currently at the height of their careers, it seems there couldn't be a more unfortunate time for them to be taken away from their lives. What do you think is going to happen? How long do you think they will be sentenced for, if at all? Stay tuned to Lime Report to find out, and let us know in the comment section below what you think. Also, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment keyword Migos for a chance to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Be sure to hit that notification bell to be the first to view the future content we have in store for you.
I got more than this, bro. It's just some of it, including everything. It's almost $3 million in jail right here. Yes, sir. I've been hard working. Let's get it.